Okay guys, we're coming back at you, another video. We're going to show you some more tricks and tips on bodywork. Number one is when you're going to pull these dents here, we're going to use the dent puller we showed you. I'm not going to go back over there. Anyways, you're going to put some studs in here along this, pop, pop, pop. But these, number one tip is, a lot of people probably don't use these. I'm not sure, but it's a multi-tool with a corner sander. And basically I just take it and I get down in there and get it to the metal where the studs need to stick. But then I take the DA and I surface sand around it, because as you can see here, we have some high points too, where these, I'm sorry about the shadow casting. I got poor lighting in the shop right now. I gotta get some more lights. But these little parts out here are high points, but when this pops up, these will go down a hair. And you see here's another one we prepped. You see what I'm saying? There's another high point there that we could tap down after we pull it out. It shows you how to work the metal basically. The other pointer is, I did this in first grade, and we took a trip to an old native and cemetery, like where older folks were, and they have you take an impression of one of the stones back in the day, and then you would research that person and what their life was like and make a report on it. So anyways, what you do is you take a piece of paper, you put it over your emblem here. These are stickers, they're raised. We don't like how they're raised anyway. And instead of buying new ones and spending $5 a deal, all you do is, well, I tattoo, so I have the stuff already, but I take an impression with a crown and a piece of paper. As you can see, Dodge, get it exactly how I need it. Okay, and then what I do is I come back, and in tattooing, we use what we call thermal imaging paper. It leaves an ink that almost looks the same color as that. But I tape over the spot. I'll spray the silver, then I'll tape over this spot here, and then I'll take my stencil stuff for tattooing and I'll smear it on the tape, and then I'll take two of my stamp papers and I will stamp this onto the tape, and then I'll take my X-Acto pen knife and I will cut out really lightly. You guys, you can't really push heavy on the tape. You gotta cut super light. It takes time. And the reason why is you don't want to gouge into the metal and leave a scratch mark where you're trying to paint, and it's just not good. So it takes a lot of time, but you could save money having to wait on templates and stuff by just using this trick. If you tattoo, or whether you do or don't, you can find thermal imaging paper at Office Max, Office Depot, some places like that. And then you can also get stencil stuff as a tattoo cream. It's basically made with aloe, and there's other videos on how to make that at home, so you can figure out how to make that out. Or you can use, also, I didn't have one, but I tattoo. If you don't want to do all that, just go get a scentless deodorant stick and you smear it onto the tape. Take your stencil paper and push it down, and then lift it, and it will leave the outline of what you have going on. And then you just cut it out and you're good to go. And then the next time, this won't be all raised. It'll actually be flush with the paint and smooth this time. So, and we're only doing that because we're not trying to wait on this stuff. We want it there still. We're already painting some silver, so we'll make it match with the sides. We'll go back out here. I'll kind of show you guys what's going on. Oh, and also the Craftsman air compressor works excellent. I do recommend that, even though I'm not a fan of Craftsman or Snap-on or all that high-end stuff. For the money, that was a good buy. It works great. It's not super loud, and it keeps up. Now coming out here, you'll see we prepped We did some sanding, but you can see there's a little low dent here, but some of this we're just gonna float it because it's so minor. We can just put some body filler, kind of float it off a little. But some of it you can see is all the way to the metal because it's worth popping up to get this contour back. Like this piece here, I'm gonna pop out and then we'll skim it with some glaze putty or whatever. And then like here you got these. Now you would say, oh, why can't you just glaze or Bondo that in? You could, except for this dent continues into this bed liner where I can't do that, so I have to put a stud right here and pop this, or you're gonna still see it here because you can't glaze putty a bed liner. So just something to look out for. This one's right on the crease there, so that's going to be a little difficult to work, but I can reach in here, so I'll be able to get up through the back tail light in there with a block if I need to. And then on this side, guys, we're basically mainly looking at this silver because we're wanting to spray that later today. And then this is the main part where it was damaged. Someone hit the side of this on the corner and hit them. So I'll also give you a pointer, another one. So here's the thing. I use a 120 grit corner sander, and I did this a certain way because, like, you don't gotta sand all this to metal. You could, but mainly you want to sand where you want to put your studs and where you're trying to pull this from, because if you pull here, 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 here roughly, and then right in here, this is all gonna come out. You don't need to put studs every, you know what I mean? Or I could use some wave wire, or you know, with a multiple puller here and then a stud here and then maybe a piece of wave wire here. You know, this one's kind of long too, so maybe some wave wire and then a stud or two in here just coming over, because the damage, once you pull here, all this on the outside is going to come out too. It's going to pop back out, so you don't really got to go crazy. You just got to get where the main inside of the dent is, and then you can pull that. Up here we just found some little spots where we're gonna basically sand it out. We just kind of marked it with a sander, so that way we could float. After we DA it, we're gonna do some, first we're gonna do these Bondo spots. That way we can knock them down with the DA and then sand the whole thing. And then after we DA it, we're gonna DA this one. We're gonna get all the way down to 400. Try and cut through all the clear, get to the paint, and then we're going to block it with some guide coat lightly with 600, and then we'll be ready to spray it. We still got to get these emblems off. As you see those, we still haven't done that yet because I'm trying to get to pulling the dents and doing the louder stuff. I can always do that at night because, you know, it's good to be respectful if you're having a business at home to your neighbors. So we're not trying to be all crazy about it. See, there's another little dent right there I just found. And we're gonna have to get on that when we do this section. So that's just what's going on today. We're cruising right along, daily, getting every phase done that we can. My time here is 10:30 in the morning, so we're already way ahead today, even if we just get these studs and start pulling these dents that we have. And then right now I'm getting ready to sand this off, and I gotta take in my templates to get those drawn up later tonight and made out for the stencil paper part, so I can have that ready to go. And then from there, it's just, like I said, it's just a process of you know, fixing things. And like this handle here, this has got to come out so we can get around this edge and scuff with our Scotch-Brite pads. And get like underneath, and then we gotta back mask it and have it ready to spray. There's one dent on the edge here. Same thing, if you don't pull it, it's gonna show in the bed liner. So yeah, just a lot, but not really. I mean, compared to doing construction work, trust me guys, the only reason I'm doing this is because I can no longer do construction work. Anyways, peace, prosperity, down with the haters, up with the participators, gig. You know, just keep at it, guys. Don't let anybody tell you can't do what you can do. You know, and life is tough, but you can still enjoy, you know. All right, guys, have a good day.